Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Saber Brick Studios. My name is Jeremy. I hope you guys are having a great day. So recently, the Dauntless and the Interceptor mocks have returned to my YouTube channel. I'm going to be continuing my work on the Dauntless and the Interceptor today, specifically on the Dauntless. I'm going to be cleaning up a lot of those sections. It is from the first Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl, one of my all-time favorite films. I'm building all three vessels from that. The Black Pearl is partially complete, needs some updates and kind of cleaning up, but the Dauntless and the Interceptor are my main projects I'm going to be focusing on. So let's get right into episode number, I believe, 4 for the Dauntless and number 2 for the Interceptor. So let's get right into it. Last episode, guys, was mostly focused on the Interceptor. We basically got the entire body of the ship done. The entire exterior of the ship is basically complete. I love how sleek this is with the actual build. That is definitely something I need to improve on the Dauntless. I have all of these sections cleaned up. I decided to last week have all of this kind of centered before it was all off-centered. I do think this ladder piece looks a little bit weird in this color on that, but unfortunately I don't really have the parts in other colors. They don't even make yellow and blue versions of this. I'm also having to kind of blend in the yellow and the blue with the brown. Again, it kind of looks weird, but that is just the reality that I have right now because Lego does not make these boat hull pieces in any other color right now. And here's a look at the back section. This is one of my favorite sections of the ship. It looks so accurate to the actual film. You are able to open up the windows from the inside. I don't believe you can push them in the other way, but I'm really liking how this looks. Eventually this will have a rudder back here. That's something I'm gonna have to design pretty soon. Or the other side of this has 3 cannons, just like the other one. No cannons are in there right now, but the Interceptor is going to be primarily a cargo ship. Here's the kind of top layers here. I can take off all parts of this like so. I definitely have to do a lot of work. There's basically nothing in there right now, but obviously I'm going to have a little bit of room for a few cannons. I probably only have one side of this ship armed because I am pretty low on cannons. I only have, I think, about 8 cannons right now, which is pretty unfortunate. I definitely have to get some more before Brickworld. I definitely want to have the Interceptor be the cargo ship like I was talking about earlier, so I'll probably have some beds and a kitchen in the back section over there, or maybe the captain's quarters back there. And then I'll kind of use part of this space, even some of the areas in front of the cannon, to put some cargo crates, put a key scene from the film. I'm also going to be having a ladder to the bottom deck of this ship, unlike the Dauntless, which will have a stairway down there. That's actually detail that is accurate to the film. I want to have it here so that you can kind of remove this top plate here. You can just have that go like that. So the Interceptor is coming along really well. We have a little bit of work to do on that, but the main focus of this episode is going to be on the Dauntless. I'm going to be fixing the stern. This is something that I've been meaning to do for a long time. This looks really bad. It's really not leveled out. I want to lower it so that it's about this height, so there's some gap here for the actual anchor. I'm also going to be extending it a little bit because I want to build something like I did on the Black Pearl over here. That is the area in which I want to build. It's kind of messed up over there right now, but the whole front sail goes out a lot further that way, just like it does in the film, and I think the Black Pearl sails look really great. So that's something I have to improve. I'm also going to be working on cleaning up this back section of the ship. It's kind of really bad looking right now. This part looks great. I'm talking about primarily this. I really don't know what I was trying to do when I built this. I may have assembled it incorrectly once I got it out of storage. So I'm basically going to start from scratch on this back section and try to fix that to the best of my abilities. Again, I'm not exactly sure what I did wrong, but I'm going to soon figure that out. So anyways, guys, I have a lot of work to get into this episode, so let's get right into it. I have made quite a bit of progress here. If you guys have not noticed, the entire front or back section of the Dauntless has been completely changed. So one of the first things I did was I actually decided to change the upper design. I thought it looked kind of weird to have 3 windows here and 2 windows here, having an kind of even than odd number. And I also think it looks more accurate to how it does in the film because there only is about 1 window in like the kind of master's cabin or captain's cabin. So I did that on both sides by taking out one of those and kind of completely reworking this entire design. Other than that, this top section did not change that much. I still have some work to do on this part of this build. I think it's a little bit weird with how I positioned everything, but the main focus is this. So before, this was really bulky, if you guys can remember how it looked at the beginning of the video, and I was not very pleased with it. So I decided to go with a more simplistic look and also kind of add a sleeker design. It resembles what I did on the Interceptor, just being a very sleek design here. You can see I used the same technique here of this kind of like upside down curved slope here going over the 3 window sets, and then kind of the cleaned up finish at the bottom. I think it just looks a lot cleaner on both of these ships, particularly on the Dauntless, because there is going to be 3 rows of windows just like it is in the film, as well as this kind of looking out deck here on the back. So that's definitely something I had to do. I had to actually change a lot of the interior. Before, these kind of side panels here were loosely attached by only 1 plate, and they were kind of like inverted at like a 15-degree angle. And I changed that to be straight onto the ship. I also made them leveled out with each other. I thought it looked a little bit weird being off-centered, because before this one was a little bit shorter on this side, so I just wanted to change that up. I also changed the positioning of these. One of the main things I had to rework was the interior. Before, there was this giant bulky connection piece that was right here. I thought it looked really weird. Now that I have the windows there, the interior space looks a lot more usable and kind of like minifigure friendly, you could say. But now I'm able to actually use that entire back space, and I think the ship just looks a lot better from the exterior. So I'm really pleased with that. I had to completely rework the entire back section of the ship. It doesn't look like a lot of work was done, but trust me, I had to tear apart basically this entire half. So now putting this back on, I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to make this leveled out, because it's kind of an awkward gap in between this space with the kind of plates I have over there for the deck. But I really do want to have this back railing piece like kind of in line with this, so I'm gonna have to figure out a way how to engineer that. So I'll check back in with you guys once I figure out what I'm gonna do. Before I could start working on that section, I felt I needed to actually finish this stern and get this to look a lot better. It looks terrible right now. I'm going to lower the height to only be 2 plates high here, so that it is a whole brick lower, like it is on the Black Pearl. It also is more accurate because the anchor would sit a little bit lower on the ship. So this is what it looks like before. And once I finish up building this section, I'm going to show you what it looks like after. Look how much better that looks, guys. Comparing this to how this was before and how messy it looked, this is just so much better. I love how clean this looks. I do want to angle this front part a little bit more kind of inward, so it looks a little bit less kind of chunky at this top section, particularly just with these 2 front tiles. But the simple difference of just adding 1 less brick space and directly placing these kind of right on this plate here has made such a huge difference. It's also so much easier to just reattach this on like this. Also, another really great thing about having this kind of front section of the bow and hull piece being this much more front out, it gives me a lot more space for the actual deck of the ship, which is really nice. Also, I no longer have to remove this to access part of the interior, so now I can kind of see directly into that front area. This will be a small cargo area or kitchen for the Dauntless. And then this entire back section will basically be dedicated to a giant prison cell that will be for the pirates that the naval forces were able to capture. And obviously the middle parts of this are going to have cannons, a couple of bunks for the crew and all that. I also think having those windows there, like I mentioned previously, is such a huge upgrade. And building the Interceptor this way as well really opened up a lot of space for me. I still want to make some modifications to the front of that bow, maybe extend it a little bit like I did in the Dauntless, because it does add quite a bit of detail to the ship. It also makes it look a lot more realistic, as this front bow piece does typically go like that. It's not really a straight progression out. That would look really weird. In real ships, it is kind of like this. I don't know if I'm going to be building a thing like the Black Pearl. Obviously, they have the Black Angel there. Sorry, the lighting is not fantastic back there. I'm not exactly sure what I want to do with that. I'm probably going to be experimenting with that kind of design work later on in this mock series. But for right now, I'm really pleased with that. I also managed to get some more work done in that back section. Nothing significant enough to add to this particular update. Yeah, guys, that is about gonna do it for this update. I had a lot of kind of backwards work this week, but I think the ship looks a lot better. It's a lot longer now too, as I've extended the ship, and it looks just a lot more natural. I am really loving how these back sections look, though. Before, they were just way too blocky and had a very odd combination of slopes and brick. It just didn't really make sense. So I'm really glad I started to straighten up these ships a lot more. I definitely have a lot more work to do left, but I'm definitely moving in the right direction. So thank you guys for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like down below. Check out some of my other videos like my animations. Thank you guys again for watching. Make sure you guys subscribe for more content, and I will see you guys on the next one.